Flower. Flowers are considered to be the most beautiful and attractive part of the plants. Flowers are the reproductive structures of the plants that consist of a male sex organ, stamen, and female sex organ, pistil or carpel. So, how does the process of reproduction happens? Before knowing that, we shall know more about the flower and its different parts. Typical structure of a flower. A typical flower consists of different parts such as pedicel, receptacle, sepals, petals, female sex organ, pistil or carpel, male sex organ, stamen. Petals and sepals are called the vegetative parts of a flower as they do not play any role in sexual reproduction but helps in the physical growth of the flower, whereas stamen and pistil are called the reproductive parts of the flower as they have direct link with sexual reproduction. Let's know in detail the different parts of flower, starting with the structure pedicel. As you can see in the picture, pedicel is a short stalk of the flower that helps the flower to grow off from the main stem. The next part is receptacle. Receptacle is found just above the pedicel. It's a thick bulged structure and it connects the pedicel to the other parts of the flower. And also it provides a support to the vegetative part of the flower. There are two vegetative parts in flower, that is sepals and petals. Sepals. Sepals are the green, tiny, leaf-like part in a flower. Sepals are also called calyx and it forms the outermost or the first whole of the flower. What are the functions of sepal? The main functions of sepal is to create a bud around the emerging flower and to protect the flower as it grows and prevent it from drying out. The next vegetative part of the flower is petals. Petals are brightly colored part of flowers which are attracted by the pollinators such as honeybees, butterflies, etc. These petals are also called corolla and this forms the second whole of the flower. The function of petals are it protects the reproductive sex organ, that is the stamen and the pistil, from the surrounding environment. It helps in attracting the pollinators that initiates the process of reproduction. Now coming to the main reproductive part of the flower, which is stamen. Stamen is divided into two parts, anther and filament. As you all can see, anther is a bilobed structure that produces pollen grains. These pollen grains carries male gametes or male sex cell which fuses with female gametes to form zygote by the process of fertilization. The thin stalk-like structure that you can see is called filament. Filament helps in attachment of anther containing pollen grain to the base of the flower. Taking hibiscus flower as an example, the yellow colored structure that you can see are the stamens. If I enlarge that particular section, you can see how stamens are attached to it. As I told you, the stamen consists of an anther, which is the head part, and a stalk, which is a filament. And this yellow color are the pollen grains produced by the anther. Such single structure is a stamen, and collection of stamen are called androecium. There are so many stamens around this particular region, so many of them or collection of these stamens are called androecium, and it forms the third whorl of a flower. As you all must be knowing now, the sepal forms the first whorl of a flower, the petals form the second whorl of a flower, and now the stamen forms the third whorl of the flower. The next reproductive parts of a flower is the female reproductive part called pistil or carpel. Let's see the structure of a pistil or carpel. Pistil consists of 4 parts: stigma, style, ovary and ovules. Let's know about each part in detail. Stigma. Stigma, it forms the head region of the pistil. They are sticky in nature, which helps in the attachment of pollen grain, which is a male gamete. The pollen grains comes and stick to the stigma. Coming to the next part, style. Style is the long, slender structure that helps in holding the stigma in place. Not only it holds the stigma in place, but style forms the connection between the stigma and the ovary containing ovules. Coming to the next part, that is ovary. Ovaries are found at the base of the pistil and they are bulged structure, and it is the house for the production of ovules. Ovules are the female gametes or the female sex cells that fuses with the pollen grains that comes and sticks on the stigma by the process of fertilization to form a zygote. Taking hibiscus flower to show the structure of pistil or carpel, as you can see, this is the topmost part or a head of the pistil, stigma, the tube-like structure, style, and ovary containing ovules, this bulb structure. If I enlarge the structure, you can see pistil. This is the pistil and this is the ovary which contains ovules in it. Hibiscus flower contain a single pistil or carpel, whereas in few flowers you can see many such pistils which are collectively called gynoecium. Likewise, we call the collection of stamen as androecium. The collection of pistil or carpel are called gynoecium, and this gynoecium forms the fourth whorl of a flower. Sepals forms the first flower of a flower. Petals form the second whorl of a flower. Stamen forms the third whorl of a flower, and pistil, it forms the fourth whorl of a flower.